Do you think trust might be useful when you're going along here? Trust that you're doing the right things. When things are a bit tough, when you hit an obstacle, you may need to trust that everything is going to be okay. Or when results don't quite happen the way you want them to. We were talking just about this before, Karen, that, you know, things just don't quite turn out. And it helps those times that you just trust that things are exactly how they're meant to be. Have you ever, you know, when you look back on your life and something really crappy happened, but you look back and think, you know, it actually was a blessing in disguise? If you've ever heard of someone who's lost a job, but it actually was a blessing in disguise because it allowed something new to happen. Sometimes it isn't, you know, right there in the situation, it doesn't seem right. Has anyone ever had a relationship breakup? You're lucky you never had. You're lucky if you've never had one. But you know, it seems very devastating at the time. And you sort of think, how can this be a good thing? I know I was there, and it took me months and months to get over it. But you know, I look back and think, why would I want to have someone who doesn't love me love me? You know, why would I want to stay with that? And trust that there is a better thing out there. And when you bring in that trust, it can make magic happen. Now, I'm talking about trusting situations. Because when we put a goal out, we may have a set way. This is what it looks like. It's going to unfold like this, and this is going to happen, and I'm going to achieve my goal. But it doesn't always happen like that. The important thing is that you reach that goal, and you want to have some flexibility on how you go about it. And you may get a result that seems like it's not happening. But if you trust that and think, okay, for one, let's get the feedback. What do I need to learn? But maybe it's leading me into another way. It can be quite liberating when you start to trust the results. And you can start to get rid of stress. Because I know this was a big lesson for me, because I was stressed about I was supposed to get papers to sign over, and this was with refinancing. It's like, oh, I need to get it now because I've got this sort of time, and I was like, oh, it's not ready by this day. You know, well, in the end, it didn't matter that it wasn't done by that day. It's like, why was I so fixated on things having to happen this certain way? When you can trust and let go, and what? Let go and allow things to happen. Magic happens. Trusting situation. Trusting others. How many find that a little bit difficult to trust others? You know, sometimes we learn early in life when we, you know, get betrayed that you can't trust anyone. I've got to do it all myself. How many of you struggle to delegate? Anyone? Yes? Can that be a lack of trust, perhaps, or you just not knowing how? or, you know, there can be different reasons, but being able to trust that someone else can do the right thing. And it becomes, you know, again, we're psychic. Because if we don't trust someone, we think they're going to mess up. They do. It can become self-prophetic. But if we show trust in them, and sure enough, there might be mistakes, but if we stick with someone, you can actually allow someone to evolve, to grow, and you're going to build your trusting muscle. It might be a muscle that needs a bit of building up, because it can be challenging for some to let go of past betrayal. It's that meaning we place on things. That again, we were betrayed, so you can't trust anyone, or you can't trust men, you can't trust women, or you know, a certain kind of people. But it's the meaning we're placing on a result. That was one example, but there are a lot of people that you can trust. Situation, others. What's the third one? Myself. Trusting yourself. Trusting yourself to do things. Trusting your intuition. How many of you thought, oh, you know, I knew, you know, that little voice that says inside what you've got to do, and just taking the time to go inside and listen to that little voice. Trusting that you do know it, because your unconscious is very, very wise when you start to listen to it, that little voice that goes here. But it's, you know, it's easy for me to sort of say it, but at some point you'll really want to get it, the importance of being able to trust yourself in doing things, in getting out there to do what it is that you want to do. I guess it's sort of a bit of a self-belief, but more trusting that you can do it. Enough, whatever it is, whatever it is. Trust that you've got the ability, trust that you've got the skills to go out there and do it. And you have that power. And that's probably the hardest one the last one to learn of those three. If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right.